and he's done here, so you're the guy.
Okay.
Well, I tell you what, if you've been reading Facebook lately, you have come to understand that I'm the big government guy. Now, I don't know if that's because I'm big and I'm running for government, or if I'm a big government guy. But let me tell you a little story to let you kind of make up your mind and see what you think about this. In January of last year, we took over the Board of Supervisors. And the chairman of the supervisors at that time was Steve Miller, and he told all of the electeds that Pinal County was going to have $7 million less in 2013 than it had in 2012. And so I asked everybody to sharpen their pencil, and they did. And they came back with $20 million in new funding requests. And these are all Republicans. In March, I started attending the supervisors meeting and contending with that increase. So here we are, we're $7 million in the hole. We got $20 million worth of funding requests. That means deficit spending, but Houston, we got a problem. Pinal County can't do deficit spending. So the supervisors had two choices. They could either raise your taxes through the roof to meet those funding requests, or they could say no. I stood up and said, tell them no. Tell them no. There was two other people that I remember that stood up with me to say no. One was a guy named Roberto Reveles, who used to be with the ACLU. The other was Henry Wade, the chairman of the Democratic Party in this county. Not a single other Republican stood up with me. Go back and look at those records if you want to. I was the lone voice saying no to increased spending. Republicans, stay within your budget, act like Republicans. And I did that against two of the most politically powerful men in our county. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Who do you want fighting for you at the state? You want somebody that wouldn't stand up and say no? Or would you want somebody that would stand up against powerful interests and say, act like a Republican, don't do this. Don't do it. And so I'm that guy. Now you figure out, am I just a big government guy, or do I believe in limited government? Let you make that choice when you go to the polls. September of last year, Congressman Paul Gosar in his very room, in front of this very club, told us that if we had not taken the money for Medicaid expansion, that every rural hospital in Arizona would have cut back its services or closed its doors. Now, I hope that the congressman knew what he was saying. Okay, I believe it did. And when I pulled papers to run for this office, I went to see Andy Biggs, the president of the Senate, did a courtesy call, and he asked me how I would have voted, and I told him I would have supported the expansion of Medicaid for a couple of reasons. Number one, it was the very best of all of the bad choices. There was no good choices. It was the best of all the bad ones. And we were going to get $1.2 billion a year for 3 years, money the federal government's already taken from us. And that gives us 3 years to figure out how to recover from this train wreck. We could have went bankrupt in 2012, or we could take the money, figure out how to not go bankrupt in 2017. There's 3 rural hospitals, and there'll be 8. 3 of them. And I was not going to close or harm any of them. I've had some pretty good endorsements I'm proud of. Supervisor Steve Miller's endorsement. Cheryl's here. She doesn't like the word endorse, but she has told me that she fully supports and has full confidence in my campaign. I've been endorsed by the Arizona Technology Council, which some of you may have read in some Facebook accounts. It's a liberal organization. See, this is one of these liberal job organizations that wants to bring high-tech jobs here. Now, the folks in San Antonio Valley want high-tech jobs. It's going to be my pleasure to work with the Arizona Technology Council and with Supervisor Cheryl Chase to bring high-tech jobs to San Antonio Valley, because guess what? That's going to help me in Casa Grande. It's going to help my friends over in Coolidge. Tom Scholl, former mayor there, has also endorsed me over there. So you have to make up your mind. Would it have been a good thing for me to be an ideologue and say, I'm going to bankrupt the state? once more in 2012? Or was I going to take the money and try to figure out how to go forward? Guess what our leadership did in the House and Senate? They sued the governor. Folks, one of the things that we hate as Republicans is letting the courts make laws. Why in the world are Republicans going to court, telling the courts, we want you to fix our vote? I don't get it. I don't get it. I am a traditional platform Republican, period. Never been anything but that, period. I won't belong to any political organization that doesn't have the word Republican in it. If I get ashamed of the word Republican, I'll be an independent. So here I am. I'm your big government guy. Metafast might help me out next year. Thank you. I'm Harold Vangilder, www.haroldvangilder.com. I want your vote.